In September, I started my journey of educating myself on the horrible effects we as humans have on aquatic ecosystems. Specifically, I chose the Jersey Shore because with the pandemic and online school, I took the opportunity and moved there full time. I have been living there every summer since I was born, and over the years, I have seen the island flood to the point where cars can't drive on the roads more often than not when it rains. I have walked on the boulevard days after storms to see garbage cans emptied and people's trash all over the streets. First, I will explain to you what the issue is, then the effects on the animals, and lastly, what we can all do to help. Let me tell you about how overdevelopment affects the animals living on the Jersey Shore and the things that we could do to help reduce it. So what is the big issue? The issue is stormwater runoff. Rainwater flows over areas that are saturated with water. Such rainwater does not immediately soak into the ground upon contact. Runoff increases in urban areas as there are less exposed areas that allow for seepage into the ground. The natural environment's landscape is altered and rainwater has to work its way around paved roads, rooftops, and hard surfaces. Those living in such areas can expect more water to flow to beaches or streams as there are fewer areas where it may seep to the ground. In an annual report by Natural Resources Defense Council on beach water quality in 2012, in New Jersey, there was 131 closings or advisories issued. 79% of them blamed on stormwater runoff. 3% of the samples tested exceeded public health standards, indicating the presence of human or animal waste in the water, a modest tick upward from 2% in 2010. Road salt, primarily composed of sodium chloride, has the potential to impair aquatic ecosystems. This material is commonly used throughout the state as a low-cost substance for melting snow and ice. Precipitation falling on salted surfaces creates runoff containing dissolved salt. The increasing amount of urban and suburban development in New Jersey has resulted in increased roadways and other impervious surfaces such as parking lots, which has increased the use of road salt. This can decrease oxygen levels and cause high mortality rate among bottom-dwelling organisms. Increased salt loading to bays can alter saline concentrations and disrupt shellfish production and fish spawning. One of the biggest concerns with stormwater is the effect that it has on the salmon population. The toxins in the stormwater can actually kill the fish, but that is not the only threat that they face from it. Even the salmon who survive swimming in this polluted water are in danger. There are sensors on their bodies that help them find food and locate predators, along with finding locations they need to head toward or away from. These sensors are thin like hairs, and the stormwater runoff can damage those sensors. When salmon cannot find what they need to live, spawn, eat, and avoid danger, their chances of surviving are drastically reduced. Another species affected by pollution is hard clams. In the early 1950s, as many as 1 million pounds of hard clams per year were harvested from New Jersey's waters. 56 between the early 1970s and 2000s. Hard clam harvests in Barnegat Bay declined by more than 99%. 57 hard clam populations in Little Egg Harbor were found to have declined by 67% between the 1980s and 2001, according to the Environment New Jersey Research and Policy Center. A solution that I feel we should implement is to adopt a net zero impact requirement for stormwater runoff from new development. There is scientific evidence that links increases in the amount of the impervious surfaces in a watershed with the degradation of water quality. In places such as the Jersey Shore, watershed that have experienced rapid development in recent decades, the problem of runoff pollution has become acute. There are ways in which new development can be designed to reduce or even eliminate their production of stormwater runoff. Another issue with urban runoff is that it comes into contact with undesirable and potentially toxic substances. Homeowners, residents, and nature lovers should be aware that pollutants such as hard metals, fertilizers, pesticides, oil, and road grime are only a few of the less obvious contaminants that can be swept into the runoff and make its way into the area lakes, streams, and waterways. There are man-made options that can decrease urban runoff and allow necessary filtration into the ground. Property owners could do their part to help the aquatic life and ecosystems in their area. One can look for and remove any potential trash that may be easily swept up in runoff, such as cigarette butts, soft drink cups, plastic bags, and other immediately observable trash and debris. Additional ways to reduce urban runoff is to increase garden areas and redirect urban runoff to locations with low-lying vegetation. If we don't take care of the beach and aquatic ecosystems now, we won't be able to enjoy it later. Thank you.